Hey y'all! So we're back with another video, and I'm back with
Tay.
And y'all already know who I am. So anywho, this video is a little different. We're going to be talking about some of our experiences as military girlfriends. Now, before we get into, some of the differences, because her boyfriend is in the
Reserves. The Army Reserves.
There you go. And my boyfriend is active Navy. So there's some things that are different. Like in our last video, we just talked about how Chris is in a unit. That's what they call their specific group in the Army. But Bay is in a division. It's the same thing, but just different terms. Like there's certain terms that vary just from branch to branch, but mean the same thing. And then they do have some words that are actually universal through all branches. Like,
she really knows more stuff about this than I do. I'm just being honest. But I'm trying to fill in with what I do know and things I don't know. I'm not going to get the wrong information out there. So I'm just going to say I don't know.
Because, like she said, Chris is reserved. So he doesn't do... I'm not going to say Chris doesn't do a lot because I don't want to downplay Chris. Chris actually does a lot in the military. It's just that they don't have to go through stuff as often as we do because he's active, if that makes sense.
Some of them do go active. They had a group of their people that went active. They, sometimes they can volunteer to go active, or they just randomly pull them to go active. I think Chris said he wouldn't mind going active. I don't know how I feel about that though. But
she gonna be stuck over here with me.
Yeah.
And she knows she don't want that because she seen me do care packages.
No, I real life don't want that. I mean, it's various benefits to being in the military. I give it that. I salute everybody who put their life on the line for this country, especially if you're black. I'm just gonna be honest, or Hispanic, because it's so many people in this country that already don't like you. So be putting your life on the line for not only just your family, but everybody else's family, which includes people who don't like you just based on the color of your skin. So shout out to all y'all, black, Hispanic, and every other nationality, ethnicity in the military. Cause thank y'all for all this y'all do, but I just couldn't do it. It wouldn't be, I've never seen myself doing it. But get paid for school, this wonderful. And then they don't take care of they veterans when they come home. What type of country is this?
Well, we have to talk about that because here's the thing. They haven't cut the Army's school fund, but they definitely cut the Navy's. So that's another thing that's kind of the thing. But the Army is very big. It's very big. I want to say the Army is bigger than the Navy. And then there's also things that they're like, I want to say sister branches, but that's not the proper term. Like certain branches work together. Like I believe the Navy stems from the Marines. It might be the other way around. The Marines might have stemmed from the Navy, but I'm pretty sure it's the Marines the Navy stems from the Marines, I'm pretty sure. But the Navy and the Marines obviously are just very close because that branch stems from them. And then on top of that, if my boyfriend wanted to switch branches, he could, but he could only do Marines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's that. And there's, that's the same like across branches. As far as that goes, but I don't know how other branches work because I don't really have that much information on any other branch but Navy and Air Force, because I grew up around the Air Force because my uncle's in it, and then somehow I keep coming back to the Navy. Love you, baby. But yeah, so there's that. And then there's some times when they have to go and do, well, I would say that's training for Chris. But with Babe, it's kind of like a deployment, but not a real deployment. It's called underway. So I'll let Tay talk to you about what field training is.
Right. Okay. From my understanding, again, this is hearsay from what I remember what Chris told me about it. They did for the last 2 years. They have done like this month training. Came there and they're there for like a month. So they have like when they're not doing their job, of course, they can be on their phones, on FaceTime. They can talk to us in the, what they, I don't want to call it a room. What the area they stand in.
I don't want to call it a barracks because it's not a barracks, but it's like a big old tent.
I'm going to say a big ass tent / dorm room with none of the essentials.
But I will say that varies. That also varies because Bay is on a boat. So the accommodations are definitely different because they're on bunk beds and she gets to communicate with Chris more than I.
But yours is also active, whereas this is just training. Now, when they went in the
I know,
field,
but you're talking about training. I'm talking about underway.
Right, but yeah.
I just wanted to add that I don't get that much communication, but the only reason why I wanted to say that was because it depends on if he's on water, if he's in port in a certain duty station, base, whatever you want to call it.
It's bothering you. Go ahead. I said it's bothering you.
No, but yeah, I don't get that much communication because he goes in and out of signal, and then also the Navy likes to turn off the internet. That's lovely. That's a lovely thing.
But with Chris, I didn't talk to Chris all the time because it was only, honestly, really for real, for like a few days. I could talk to him, and that's when they was like I said, in they tent, freak. And that was basically in, and once they really went out in the field, they didn't have any signal, and they weren't allowed to take their phones anyway.
Yeah, that's
so they had their phones taken out again. Like I said, like the week or whatever, or the first few days when they were at the place. Like I said, I keep calling it's a tent, but it's like a basic dorm, in my opinion. Again, they could have their phones, they could listen to music, they could do different stuff like that, but they had to get their phones away when it was time to hit the field. So and I was telling Alex while Chris was gone for a month, and they're not always gone for a month, but I was telling Alex, like, while Chris was gone for a month, that I can't imagine him being gone. Thank you. That's the only kind you got?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. I can't imagine 6 months. A month already was difficult for me.
Oh, yeah, she couldn't take it. The one talking about me with my months.
I wasn't even just not taking it because of not having any intimacy. I was just not taking it because I missed my man. You was tripping, like I said on that one video, because you weren't getting no loving. There's a difference.
Yeah, drink your damn soda.
But,
which, by the way, again, we're from St. Louis, so that's why you see Vest. Vest is not available everywhere, y'all.
What's wrong with that?
So, okay. But
grape and orange is good.
And we both have also been to bases. I've probably been more only because, like I said, I grew up around my uncle and he used to take us on bases.
She's been to more.
Yeah. But I will say this, going from an Air Force base to a naval base is like going from a 5-star hotel to prison. I will say that. Sorry.
Stop, really?
It really is so depressing. Like, it's so depressing.
Okay, what's the difference?
Okay, so look.
She said prison.
So
you should have started at you should have started at Navy base and worked your way up. I mean, I know it was in your family, but now you said it's prick.
Well, okay, I'm being overly dramatic, but like y'all need to put some better accommodations for the folks in the Navy.
She's seen too much privileges in the Air Force.
Well, yeah. But it was like, there's like greenery everywhere. My uncle loves to golf. I saw a golf course. Now the naval base may have a golf course, and maybe I just didn't see it when I was there. But basically on his ship, and I got to see where he sleeps and stuff like that. And like, to somebody,
that's neat.
To somebody who's on the outside looking in, you'd be like, it's not a big deal. But you have to understand, he can't talk to his family. He can't talk to me.
NCIS, when they go on the ships, every once in a while to investigate a case.
He can't talk to me. He can't see me. And you do this every day because it's just like, it's a humbling experience. And I really understood I'm not going to say I understood what he goes through every day because there's a lot of stuff he doesn't talk about and he can't tell me. But it was a humbling experience just because I saw what he had to go through and like the space that he was in. And honestly, I don't think I could do it. And that's why I always kind of give him praise because I'm like,
wait, wrong hand, right? It's right here. Sorry.
I always give him praise because I'm like, you're so strong because I don't know if I could
adore you guys. Thank you for putting your life and your time on this earth on line to fight for us. You know why Lance decided to go into the Navy branch?
Oh, yes, I actually do. So, I asked him when we were first talking why he chose the Navy, and he told me he chose that branch out of every other branch because they travel the most. Literally his only reason. But it's better than like a Dodge Charger or getting a Camaro, because some people just join because they see the cars and they be like, But he wanted to travel, and so that's why he chose. That's why he chose that branch. I will also say though, when you're thinking about going into the military, because my boyfriend's experience, Chris's experience, and my uncle's experience are very different. So you can't just be like, oh, well, Tay had a good experience, I should just go join.
Right. Incorrect.
Your experience is not going to be the same. So, because when you talk to people, some people have the best experience, some people have the worst experience. And so it's just like you have to keep that in mind.
No matter where you decide to go, you also need to realize there is a chance, whether you're active or reserves, that you sign on the dotted line, that you're in here for this amount of time, and that you can, if a war breaks out, you're going to go. So for all those that have signed up just because of materialistic things.
Or the sign-on bonus.
Right. Realize that your life is just as if not more important than really materialistic things.
Out like just like Tay said before, either in this video or in a different one, I can't remember, but there are benefits. Like there's the downside, like she was talking about, and then there are benefits like you get school paid for. I'm not sure how, like, if they pay for student loans or you have to be currently in school, so don't quote me on that, but I know there's something that benefits with school. And then you also have, the healthcare. Their healthcare is really good. Let's see. Your bills do get paid. However, if you kind of, show you behind, they can lower your pay. There's that. And then I would also say just regulate your money as far as it goes, because they do give you a lot of money, but you have to have the foresight to think, okay, I got $10,000 or I got this much, I need to put some away, I need to put some in my 401k and stuff like that for when I want to get out. And a lot of people only do the first 4 years, so therefore budget your money. Okay, yeah. Budget your money.
I think Chris signed on for six or 8
total. Already?
I think he signed on for 6. He was trying to decide if he
re-enlisted.
No, it was 6 altogether.
Oh, because they only did 4.
I think he did it when he was 18. Chris is just now about to turn 26. So, he haven't fully decided if he's going to stay in or not.
They already signed the re-enlistment paper. 6 more years.
That's a toss up. And like I said, depending on which president we have, there's a lot of things that go into play about where we want to go stick our business, our nose in other people's business, and go play Captain Save everybody. And so that all depends. But I don't know I don't know. It's a lot of factors. Like I said, the health insurance is good. Right now, Chris isn't having kids, but you never know. You might want to stay. We don't have many kids, so you never know. That's another factor. And then you get married, all that stuff together. But I don't know. So I don't know what he's going to do. I think he probably would stay if he had some kids, but I don't know. And I don't know. But I feel like if he do 12, he might as well do 20.
He's supposed to be giving me a niece.
Not in the next few years. Unless he's
doing
it with somebody else.
I got faith in my brother-in-law.
But
I got faith in him.
And I know that's what he said. He said, if I do 12, I might as well do 20. So I don't know.
See, that's the thing. If what Tay is talking about with the 20 thing, I want to say 20, you could retire. Once you do 20, you can retire. And then you're basically like taken care of. But the thing about it is, and again, this is going back to everybody's experience is different. So, 20 years may not sound bad. Like, oh, I did 20 years and I could be set for the rest of my life. But everybody's experience is different. Everybody puts, and everybody does everybody has different experiences, and so therefore it's harder for some people. And then PTSD is really real in the military because they put up with a lot and they don't get to talk to their comfort zone, their home. Some of them, and then on the worst end of that, like I said, both of them are our boyfriends, so they do have people, and they also have really good families outside of us. So they do have different people to talk to and for support. But on the other end, there's also some troops that don't have anybody to talk to.
Hey, if you're in the military, I think, if I remember correctly, you guys can get like 12 free sessions of counseling initially. Since, you know, if you got some issues you want to work out, whether it's military issues, personal issues, whatever, they're there for you guys. I think the first 12 are free.
Yep.
Don't quote me, but I think the first 12 are free. And no matter what, if you want to go reserves, if you want to go active, whatever branch in the military you want to go to, you all have to go through boot camp. And they break you down. They break your civilian ways down, and
to build you back up towards the end, but you got to make it towards the end.
And they break you down. I remember Chris. I'm just gonna tell a quick piece of Chris's story that he told me. I remember him saying he came back home from the initial training, basic training, and he basically was like, he didn't like this civilian life, you know, for civilians. He didn't like it no more. He was still waking up at as early as they wake up. He still wake up early now, but it's not as early as how they wake up in the military. But he didn't like it. He didn't like being back home initially, and he felt like it was boring. He did. Wow. He didn't like it. They condition you know. And they take you away from your loved ones for a while. Yeah. They mentally break you down. No, you can't. You look at some letters every once in a while, but
they left August 13th, 2015 for boot camp. He was actually part of the Cardinal Division and got to be on the field at the Bush Stadium. So then he didn't even graduate until October, I want to say it's like the 10th or the 12th, somewhere around that timeline or whatever. And I was actually talking to him during then. So I remember all of that. But I think it was like a month or a couple of weeks I couldn't talk to him because they didn't give out an address until later. So that's and then I wrote him every day. It's different for everybody because my boyfriend does have PTSD and he has night terrors. And again,
this is real life, people.
So on that, for anybody who doesn't know, if you do take the bonus and you do re-enlist and you do not make it, you have to pay them that money back.
Yes, I've heard about that. I have heard about that. Even with reserves, they still have Chris go to drill like once a month or whatever, if not more than once a month. And they still have their tests they have to go through. They still get randomly drug tested. They still get all this stuff, and they will kick you out.
And I have some other friends who are in the Army, and they don't ever really get drug tested. So again, people's experiences are different.
Different units, different things. And yeah, and they still got to do their PT tests and different stuff like that. And you're supposed to pass, you know, your push-ups, your sit-ups, your running, your laps, your miles, or whatever. And then you can pass it. And I think, and see, Chris has done a lot of things to move up to his next level. I think it's just one more thing he needs to pass before he can move up to his next rank. Yeah.
Oh, and see, that's another thing we should talk about. Rank is a lot harder to make in the Navy, or at least on where he's positioned at and on his base, because there's so many people and they can only promote a certain amount of people. So you could study and pass the test and still not make rank, which sucks because we're not married, and so he does not get basic housing allowance because the way that the military looks at it, we giving you free housing because you could live on this boat. They don't give him free housing because he doesn't have a family, so it's like you could stay on the boat or you could pay rent somewhere else by yourself, and that comes out your paycheck.
Ain't that some shit?
Yeah, so we're not married, so he doesn't get basic housing. And then the pay definitely varies, but the higher your rank, the higher the pay. So there's that on.
That's true.
There's that on that.
And anytime they go to drill, they get paid. So anytime Chris goes to drill, his once or twice a month, they get paid. And sometimes, like this upcoming, I think it's next month. No, it's October because that ruined my plan for his birthday.
I hope he ain't watching this video.
No, he'll watch it, but he knows because I told him I was trying to. The only thing Chris knows about his birthday, I'm planning this something.
And I'm
But we're kind of in competition because again, that's the last video. But anyway, we shot too many videos. More stories. I'm planning something for my boyfriend's birthday, so he knows I'm planning something.
And that's hard too.
Yes, and since he has drill is normally a certain weekend, but it was the first weekend of. It's going to be the first weekend of October, and instead of just having regular drill where they go and they're there most of the day or whatever, they're going to a base this time, and they're going to be away that whole Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and so they're going to have to sleep there. So that ruined what I needed to do because he clearly needs to be at drill, So again, I'm not going to say everything because this video is more than likely going to be posted before then, but I just said things he already knows. But they get paid for that.
It's hard to plan things in the military because sometimes things change. Definitely change.
They definitely change.
They either change or you don't know things till the last minute. But I will say though, like she said,
stressful.
Chris does training a lot, but Bay does more so like duty. Like he has duty all the time. It's different kinds of duties. And it feels like every time I'm talking to him, he's doing the type of duty and he can't talk. Like there's watch, there's duty, there's underwear, there's deployment. It's a lot. And then on top of that.
Active. Active means active.
And then stores on base, they do get like the PCX. I hope I'm saying that right. You do get discounts. They have a grocery store. And stuff like that. I've never really shopped there though, because again, my uncle, like for them, that's like part of work. So like when we go for what we there to get and we leave. So I don't really shop there. Only the strong survive. But if you guys scroll to the end of the video, I will actually show you some of the care packages I've done for Beck. So as promised, this is one of the last care packages that I got to send my boyfriend. So as you can see, it's like a hygiene and a snack care package. So at the bottom, I have lotion, socks, Dove deodorant, and Dove soap. And then on the top, I have ramen noodles to fill in all the empty spaces that were left in between everything else. And then on the side, there were 5 big pound bags of snacks, so he could have them for months on end while he's deployed. And that's about it for how much I put in a care package. I hope you guys enjoy this little tidbit. Like, comment, subscribe. And turn your post notifications on. Bye, guys.